Ron Johnson, good to see you.
Good to see you. Like I told you, awkward.
Yeah. This is how I open most conversations with people I know. So, how's it going?
Good.
Good. So, why don't we level set a little bit?
Sure.
So you have had quite an epic career in retail. Among other things, sort of the kind of the driver and really kind of the growth engine behind the Apple Store. You went off to run JCPenney. We'd love to just get into the state of retail in general based on that. And now you are a startup founder with Enjoy, and so pretty awesome. So just to kind of kick things off, can you kind of set up the state of the retail industry broadly, particularly with a lens toward the brick and mortar part of the retail world?
Here's the way I look at it. Stores have been around a long time. So the Apple Store on Regent Street in London has had the same landlord for over 1,000 years. So the point is, people have been trying to make money in physical retail for thousands plus years. E-commerce is 20 years old. It's like a baby. It's really early. There's one dominant player, Amazon, right? But the share of it's really small. Total global e-commerce is 5% of sales. In the US, it's 7%. It's growing faster, but its rate of growth in 20 years, it might be 18%, unless something changes. So stores are the kind of stalwart. It's kind of the habit, whether it's age of customers. E-commerce is the new disruptor, new entrant. The theory we have, without jumping into it, is that e-commerce today is fundamentally solve the problem of convenience. Transactional convenience. Amazon is like Walmart was in the 80s. Broad assortment, fair price, fast. If you look at the world of stores, there are many stores that compete on something called personal service. To date, there are very few places when you start online, you have a service model. There are exceptions, like Trunk Club, maybe Warby Parker and what they're doing, bringing 5 frames. But the vast majority of e-commerce is fundamentally optimized for speed and convenience and low price. But that's not the history of retail. So I believe for retail online to grow, people have to invest in different kind of pain points and solve those for customers. So my read is e-commerce is coming, but it's not going to take over overnight. It's going to increasingly scale, but stores are going to be around for a long time.
So did that drive the premise of Enjoy, like sort of finding the missing gap of e-commerce?
Yeah, it's fun. What drove the premise of Enjoy was, one, having been at Apple, Apple is legendary probably more than anything for ease of use. Going back to the Mac, to the phone. Yet the busiest store in the world is the Apple Store, and all the customers are in the back. They aren't in the front. They're in a line when we launch and they buy a lot. So if an Apple customer, that kind of ease of use needs help, what about the rest? Secondly, the world's going to connected devices. Any one device on its own is not that hard to use once you learn how to do it. But to get your smartphone to talk to your Nest thermostat, to talk to your doorbell, that's complexity. In this smart home, connected home, someone's going to have to solve or handle the complexity. And so in a world where delivery is becoming ubiquitous, where people want to work mobily, think of people driving for Uber. Kids drive for Uber because they want they want to work when they want, where they want freedom. In a world of delivery where people want to work mobily, my sense is that what if you could move the location from the physical place where you buy the product to the physical place where you use the product? And could that not unlock a paradigm of service? Because when you're in the home, you can do so much. When I unlock a smartphone in a home, I can take out your iPad and Mac and make sure they're all synced. I can go to your car and set up your Bluetooth device. I can make sure it works with your Sonos. You got the latest software updated. I couldn't do that in a store, right? But because physical stores require high margin to support the infrastructure, you can deliver a person to someone's home on time a lot cheaper than you can deliver a store. So as long as you have stores, there will be money that supports a model like we have, if that makes sense. And early on, it's, you have to grow these businesses, but it's about speed and about service. And a portion of the customers and a portion of the products will, I believe, require that. Not all, but a significant proportion.
So Enjoy is sort of a Genius Bar inside your living room.
Yeah, well, the Genius Bar is really about technical help.
Sure.
Enjoy is at the front end of a purchase. The consumer electronics industry in the U.S. is $225 billion. People buy $225 billion of new stuff every year. Every one of those people are doing it themselves. They're on their own. Mm-hmm. We want to take part of that $225 billion and do it together. Help people through that.
This is a community thing.
It's a community thing. It's a community thing. It's a high-touch experience in a high-tech world.
What, and we can get into some of the specifics about kind of the Enjoy strategy in a few minutes, but maybe just as a quick prelude to that, do you see, clearly right now the branding, the message is about complex or semi-complex technologies and electronics and smart home and drones, but equally, we were just talking about other high-touch kinds of products and services. There might be fashion, there might be jewelry, there might be, do you see getting into those categories?
Yep.
Oh.
But,
okay.
I look at it, Amazon built its model from 94 to about 97 on books. They took books, figured out how to deliver books fast and cheap with broad assortments. We've picked consumer electronics to learn how to deliver a person and a product fast with great help. Once we learn how to do that, it opens up all kinds of other industries where someone needs help, whether it's home healthcare, high-end fashion. Like we're already in discussions with Selfridges confidentially, I guess not confidentially, about how you enjoy Selfridges in a city like London. So there's a lot of interesting plays down the road. But for us, to deliver a person, it's got to be a purchase that matters. Pretty good retail, pretty good margin, pretty good economics, and most products have those.
How do you think about growing and building an organization like this, your hiring policies, your customer service policies, and how does that differ from your previous experiences at both Apple and JCPenney?
Yeah, this is like an Apple. Apple, the premise of the store was the people that work there, whether it's at the Genius Bar, you meet great people. So we had to learn how to hire, train, build a culture of service. Enjoy is that on steroids, because our product is a person. What we have is a person and an experience we create. So we've got to do an even better job of selecting people, training people, delivering, incredible every time. And so it's really hard.
So how do you do that?
It's actually quite simple. Having been in the industry a long time, 20 million people now are working in the mobile economy, right? You've got to start by creating the best job for a mobile economy. So we don't have contractors, we have employees. And they've got salaries and the benefits and stock. But just like when you work for Uber, they have no boss setting their schedule. So if you're a full-time employee and you work 40 hours a week, maintain 40 hours of availability. We pay you. So if you're a student, you can go to class, you can go do this, you can do that, you can be in a rock concert. You work when you want, which is why you want to work with Uber. But you've got the hallmarks of a great job, which is a guaranteed salary, I'm on a team. So you start by creating a job that will attract good people. Then you've got to have a profile of who do you pick. And you pick people, in our case, who love technology and love people. Very simple. Those are the two attitudes. If they love technology, they'll learn on their own. They're inquisitive. And if they love people, aren't awkward, they'll deliver. But they'll naturally deliver.
Come on, I would be an okay Enjoy employee.
You'd be great. Okay. You would also be great. But they'll deliver.
Like Ethernet, I'm pretty okay in.
But for us, the beauty for us on the service side is the bar is really low because it's never been done before. So if someone shows up, like in your case.
That's why I'm in.
They show up 5 minutes early. They hand deliver a product. They're really nice. They get you up and running. It's not just setup. It's learning how to use it, onboard it, solving your problems. And they're really friendly. And it was free. What's not to like?
So did you actually then methodically go through all the list of product categories?
Yeah.
Okay. And then electronics, so it wasn't just because you're the Apple guy. It was because...
No, I just felt it was the best category because of the complexity.
Right.
And this future of connected home. The smart home will happen, but it's not happening yet. You talk to Tony Fidel. Talk to him next week. His biggest inhibitor is people would love to control, but they don't know how to do it. And they don't want to hire some installer to come out and spend $100 to get them to do their thing.
So we were also talking about how product companies and brands can go direct to customers now.
Correct.
They could either do that via a website, or they could do their own delivery model. But essentially, you can become a distribution channel.
Well, that's what wasn't discussed yet.
Right.
Excuse me, interrupting.
Sure.
And maybe it wasn't in your write-up, but our secret sauce is we're helping a manufacturer bypass the store that adds zero value. So what Enjoy is doing, we're in the process right now, we're in about 8 companies. When you go to buy Sonos next time, 61% of the people, as part of their research, go to the manufacturer website to learn about the product. Then they also watch YouTube videos, do ratings, reviews, and get recommendations. But what they do after on the manufacturer site is they go find a store. They don't really buy direct from manufacturers today. Well, on the Sonos website, on the homepage, when you're looking at the Play 5, it'll say, you can have this hand-delivered and set up in your home by 6 o'clock tonight. Because our PAs and our time availability feeds right into their website. That lets you just click and buy because of the speed, convenience, and the help, and it's free. Sonos likes it because once someone goes to Best Buy, they're standing in front of Sonos and Beats Music and blah, 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 blah. So you never want to let a customer leave without buying, right? So in that case, they pay us a fee to go do this experience for them, but it allows them to go direct and bypass the store. So we negotiate a separate price with Sonos when we do a delivery, but we look at it, we're getting paid to acquire a customer. Now, once we're through the door, what else can you enjoy? So when we set up your Sonos, we start by saying, let's check the speed of your wireless network. Right. You've got some Wi-Fi issues here.
I do, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
And this download speed is, you could get faster with AT&T broadband than what you're using.
I've been using AT&T broadband, yeah.
But the point is, you unlock a lot of potential when you get in the home.
So I was wrong. So it's not Genius Bar in your living room. I mean, it is, but it's actually Genius Bar for all of these brands.
For all these brands.
Right.
We're going to be, what we're trying to do is own the cart of the premium brands. Premium brands never get discounted. Rarely is Apple on sale. Rarely is Sonos on sale. Rarely is a DJI drone on sale. You can sometimes use your red card and save 5%, but these are not heavily. So we handpick, like a specialty store, the products that are the key core products in the industry. So we're trying to be more of in every industry in retail, there's low price guys and there are differentiators. We're trying to be the differentiator. So if we get really lucky, long term you see Prime, you'll think of speed. You see Enjoy, you'll think of help or a person.
That's
great. So that's the whole vision there, is that we're going to be the one who owns delivering great people that you can trust when you start online and want a person.
So from an economic standpoint, because there's this big question, certainly in the Valley, of do these delivery companies make money?
Yeah.
If you're paying so much for the actual person and the gas and the car and everything. So your economics are coming from the buyer or the brand, or just the brand?
Ours, we always deliver free.
Okay.
So when they buy from our site, we work off the same economics the retail store does. We get the premium retail economics because of what we're doing. Think 30 points. So on a $500 item, Sonos speaker, we're getting $150.
So you're getting the product for wholesale, selling it at the recommended retail price, and you're getting the margin.
So think of Sonos. $150 if we sell it. If they sell it, we negotiate a price that's lower. But we get a customer, and we just have to deliver a person. So to deliver a person, you've got a drive time, and you've got an experience time. Now, we say we'll spend an hour. We spend the right amount of time. It takes us about 20 minutes to set up a Sonos speaker. And then you spend time, downloading different music apps, and they enjoy that. And then when you're done, you go. But, so what does it cost to hire someone? Well, the average Uber driver makes $20 an hour. We should pay more than that. But if we're getting $100 to $150 per visit, you start to see the math. So the question is, how many visits per day can an expert do? And there's a break even, but you need scale to do that. So you have to assemble the partners. You got to get the big partners like an AT&T, but ultimately that's kind of the business model.
But if Enjoy gets to scale, the incumbent retailers probably won't sit still.
They can't compete.
And so there's
no way.
Doomed.
Best Buy is doomed with Enjoy. Best Buy owns all the physical stores. So a great physical retailer like Best Buy will earn 3% after all their expenses, right? Because they've got to have checkout. They got to maintain inventory. They got to pay rent. They got to depreciate. They got to hire people when you're busy or not busy, right? They have loss prevention, security. They got a lot of costs. They can't afford to do it. So Best Buy is this thing called the Geek Squad. But that's a for-profit charge to visit thing. You know, if you want to do Sonos with Best Buy, it's $99 come to the house. So they couldn't have those guys do it for free because they got to pay them, but there's no margin to work with because they spent it all in the store. So a physical store made their bet on the physical experience. We've made our bet on the personal experience, on the person. So our only cost is to deliver a person. Make sense? The physical, the employee cost in an Apple store is 11% of sales. In an Apple store. That's all our expense is people. So you can see we work off the same margin. There's quite a bit of when you really get into it.
So when you think about the retailers that are maybe most impacted by this, do you have a sense of, you know, we were talking about, is it the people that are urban or the people that are in more maybe B and C locations, or is it by product? Who can't respond to?
It varies by product, but here's what I'd say is early on, and we're very early on, there's two people that use Enjoy. It's people that want convenience and they want help. So our speed is what gets a millennial guy to want something, because we deliver in 4 hours, 2 hours for an Apple TV. That's pretty fast, right? So people want the speed, but it turns out even the young guys take the help. You know, in our generation, not yours, it was kind of cool to figure out how to set up like a Mac. You know, today nobody
Like
wants
an analog clock.
Nobody wants, my generation, But, you know, today people, if someone will do it for you. Remember, in affluent societies, service goes up. In affluent as country, service goes up. That's just the rule of the world. So this idea that just because the internet's growing, that in a future world nobody cares about service, is kind of crazy. So if you really think about the world we're in, the e-commerce is really great at convenience. But what else does it do? I don't see anything, right? So in an affluent society where you need help, you want service, and people want to do, I think there's a
So one clarifying question. So in your business, you're going to have you're going to manage inventory. And
we do.
Okay.
But we get it consigned.
Right. Okay.
So we get it paid for by our manufacturers. And, you know, like, for instance, in the Bay Area, we need inventory to cover the whole Bay Area. Best Buy needs it for 42 stores. They got to make the bet where the inventory goes before the customer comes. I take a pile of inventory and just have to figure out how to deliver it efficiently, right? So we have very little inventory serving an entire market, you know, compared to a physical store, which needs to anticipate through a variety of algorithms where the customer is going to buy. And that's very inefficient. That's why they run on 8 weeks of inventory, where we can run on days.
Do you become constrained to larger urban areas
Well, no, that's not true. That's a fallacy, too, because if you think about it, if I were in the Twin Cities where I grew up, I could drive anywhere in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area serving 2 million people in 35 minutes in a car. The way the freeways work, you know, maybe 40. But on average, drive time will be 25 minutes. In Manhattan, it sometimes takes 15 minutes to get through the door, man, to get up to like a high rise. So when you start to go, there's trade-offs, and the logistics have to vary by market, but you can deliver people in all the major metropolitan areas. 80% of Apple's revenue comes in the top 25 U.S. cities. So all of those are good markets for Enjoy, right? And you just have, you know, a different model. You know,
how then important, because when you think about your own advantages and the things you guys are going to invest really, really deeply in, clearly service and
people.
And the people side, 100% clear on that.
And we'll be the only place to do this with great products.
Right.
Because the manufacturers are only going to pick, they're going to pick one Enjoy.
Right. So that's
they don't want to train another, you know, Happy.
Right.
You know, they're going to want to have a partner for
That's
this.
a lawsuit waiting to happen. Yep.
Yeah.
So people for the service.
Yep.
And all the training that goes into that.
Yeah.
The partnerships and the brand that gets you those partnerships.
Yeah.
How about the technology stack though? Do you think you get better at logistics than other people? Do you get better at data, sort of from a heat mapping of customers? Does that become an advantage where you're years ahead of all the incumbents?
Yeah, we have huge data teams.
Okay.
So we know in the home, speeds of networks, what they own, who they are, our data goes immediately to a partner portal where Sonos sees every customer,
Right.
who they were, what they owned, what their experience was. So there's this real-time feedback loop,
Yep.
which is pretty nice. The other interesting thing is we've eliminated the idea of return. So returns in consumer electronics run 10%. We have had 25 returns in 8 months. People return things when they can't figure out how to get it up, when they don't use it. Well, we don't leave till they're enjoying that product.
Right.
So our return rate is about 1%. So that means when we're in a $500 cart of a manufacturer, we're saving them $50 at a minimum by just solving returns. There's no call center cost. Every call center costs about $5 when you amortize it. All that goes away. So for what they pay us, they start to reap these disruptive benefits from the work we do of eliminating returns, eliminating support costs,
Yep.
Immediate feedback that has value. So that's why all these manufacturers are fighting to get enjoying their cart.
How disruptive do you think are the maybe the players that aren't focused on the service side of this space, but pure just delivery, like getting things in 20 minutes? Do you think that ends up being a problem for retailers, or is that something?
I think because the reason we go to stores is because you get it now.
Right.
I mean, I think it is. That's why I think it's deceiving. Walmart and Target are really going hard to go online.
Right.
But why would I go buy Target online when I drive by the damn store every day? They already invested in convenience with the number of stores they have in these big stores. So there's less likelihood. I might go to Amazon and find something different, but if Target's assortment's fundamentally the same as the store,
So the brand doesn't matter as much in an online world. I can just go anywhere.
I don't get it. I just think it's, and that's why Target's invested $1 billion in, and I'm an old Target guy. It's less than 2% of their revenue. Well, obviously, if people are buying higher percent from others, a Target customer kind of goes, no, Target's that store thing. If I'm going to buy convenience, I'll go to Amazon with Prime, and they already made that call. So I think someone had it right. These big, large real estate stores that are built on convenience, it's pretty hard to succeed in this future world.
Does the Enjoy model work globally? Are there cultural differences or things that make it harder or easier in other parts of the planet?
I don't know. It'll work better in like London because it's much more of a delivery service culture, and for a variety of reasons, very easy to get around. There are other cities it's hard to tell, but I mean, where delivery's taken off, as we all know, is China. I mean, that's where it's happening, but we'll see. The advantage is every product we offer is a global product. So all of our partners can't wait for us. Once we prove it, go. We've got the partners lined up, we've got the technology stack, we've got the business model. We just have to hire people and train people.
Of the existing incumbent retailers, do you think anybody is solving this problem well and addressing the dilemma, investing in digital, and actually migrating the customer demand to that? Or is everybody seeing it as cannibalizing?
No, I think the narrower your assortment, the better opportunity you have to do this.
Okay.
And that's where you see
That's
some
really
of these,
counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So why is that?
Well, because you have a less frequent customer coming to your store, and then the better. So there's no pure play. There's no such thing as a pure play online store. Those don't work. It's another fascinating thing. If you build a physical store anywhere in the world, after about 5 years, everyone has discovered, tried it within the trade area, and it's called a mature store. And that's when you start growing 2-3%. But you fundamentally had your experience. It's also the same online. It's like I've invested in a retailer called Nasty Gal. Anybody know Nasty Gal? Sophie Emmer. They've been around 9 years now. Well, everyone who might be their customer has heard of Nasty Gal. They've tried it. And their market, even though it's a global online marketplace, at some point it's no different than the trade area of a store. People have tried it. It's mature. Now to compete, you got to find a new way to acquire customers. Well, that's why these companies are now saying, well, let's go backwards to physical, and start to have this omni-channel thing, which will happen, is important, because sometimes you want to shop in the store, sometimes online, for all these reasons. But you're going to find a pure play online thing, except for like Amazon, which is so big in scale, probably doesn't work. Pure play store doesn't work. You got to find a way to offer more. But it's going to be very hard for a large physical footprint store to build an online business. in my
So
opinion.
what could disrupt Amazon then? Because in a world where convenience and speed moves from wanting things in a day or two to an hour or two, certainly the service model that you're building out could be disruptive. But are there any other approaches, whether it's Jet or more of the pure online commerce?
No, I think what I've always wondered is like, why the hell does Apple sell through Amazon? What should disrupt Amazon is why should a manufacturer go through Amazon? If you want to buy a Mac and it weren't on Amazon, you buy it from apple.com. You know, now you're to a point, but what does Amazon really do? Why would the manufacturers not bypass? That's what I wonder.
Well,
in a future world, why isn't it, and there's a way that it's so easy to search and buy direct from the manufacturer, why wouldn't they want to control that part of the value chain?
Could I throw out a
Sure.
hypothesis?
Yeah.
Because as a consumer, you don't always sort of know all the brands,
Right.
and you want to be able to have a single destination to search and find all of those things.
Sure.
So what's your response to that?
Well, but people, when they go to Amazon, they know what they're going to buy. I mean,
okay.
when someone walked in the Apple store, the day they bought, 91% of the people, 91% bought the exact, they knew the size, the model, the amount of memory, the color. They had done their homework. It was a transaction.
So that might be true for the higher end,
Yeah.
high margin products you were describing. But some might go to Amazon and say, I want a USB charger, and I'll see the 15 that are on there. I don't care about brand. I just
Yeah.
want to kind of find the one that looks
Yeah,
good.
and I don't want
buy
to go to like Crest.com to get my toothpaste, you know. So
That's probably true.
okay, so maybe Amazon, is just a nice sort of low end toothpaste provider in the future.
Yeah, but if Crest said Aaron should brush his teeth, once he needs to do toothpaste once a month.
Yep.
I'm gonna set a subscription model, a little
Right.
better value. You love Crest, you're my guy.
Right.
For the next 2 years, I'm delivering you your toothpaste and other things.
And don't I have like 17 different boxes coming every single week?
Right.
It's like I got my beef jerky
Yeah, that's
box,
true.
and then I've got my Crest box, and
Yeah.
okay, cool. Floss
Well,
is going to be a different company,
That's true.
right?
Right? You're
So
right.
we got it. There's some.
So
efficiency
then you get
packaging.
back to the delivery.
Right.
The delivery.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like a lot of stuff is changing in the world. Clearly, e-commerce has many, many years to kind of continue to transform.
I think that's what you got to remember. It's
Yep.
very new,
very early.
early.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Ron. Really
That's
appreciate
terrific.
it.
Thank you, Ron.